They say life tests the ones it trusts the most. It doesn't ask for permission. It just takes your peace, your people, your plans, and waits to see what's left of you when the storm clears. This is the story of a young woman named Elena Brooks, and how she learned that sometimes, when life feels unfair, it's really just teaching you how to heal. Elena grew up in a small coastal town in Oregon. Her world was simple: the sound of waves, the smell of salt, and dreams that felt as wide as the ocean itself. She wanted to become a writer, to tell stories that would make people feel less alone. But at 22, her story changed. Her father, the anchor of her world, passed away suddenly from a heart condition. In a single phone call, her world shattered. Her mother fell into silence, bills began to pile up, and Elena was forced to quit college to take a job at a small diner by the sea. Every morning, she smiled for strangers, but every night, she cried into her pillow, whispering the same question over and over. Why us? Why me? Why does life feel so unfair? But here's what she didn't know. The same pain that breaks you today could be the very thing that builds you tomorrow. One cold night, after closing the diner, Elena sat by the beach. The wind was wild, and the waves crashed like thunder. She picked up a small stone and threw it into the sea, whispering, "If life really has a reason, show me." A few moments later, a small piece of driftwood floated toward her feet. It was smooth, shaped by time, something broken made beautiful again. She held it in her hands and smiled for the first time in months. That night, she began to write again. Not about dreams, but about pain, about what it means to lose everything and still wake up the next day. She wrote before work, after work, between shifts. Her hands smelled of coffee and ink, but slowly her words began to reach others. She posted her writing online, and people began to respond. Strangers wrote back, "Your words helped me tonight. It feels like you're telling my story." For the first time, she realized, her pain wasn't useless. It was helping others heal too. Months passed. She saved a little money and printed her writings into a small book called Letters to the Broken. She didn't expect much, but her book spread like light through the dark. People shared it, gifted it, cried over it. One evening, a woman walked into the diner, holding a copy of her book. Her eyes were full of tears. She said softly, "My daughter passed away last year. I thought I'd never feel again, but your words helped me breathe." Elena froze, and in that moment, she understood. The pain she once begged life to take away was the very thing that gave her purpose. Years later, Elena returned to that same beach. The waves were still wild, the air still cold. She stood barefoot in the sand, holding that same piece of driftwood she'd kept all those years. The sunset painted the sky gold. She whispered, "Maybe life was never unfair. Maybe it was just preparing me, because that's what life does. It breaks us, not to destroy us, but to teach us how to rebuild stronger. So when life feels unfair, when it feels like the world has forgotten your name, remember this: your story isn't over. You're just in the chapter where the hero learns who they really are. Because pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. And sometimes your cracks are just proof that light is trying to get in. So keep going, keep breathing, keep believing that this moment is shaping you into someone extraordinary. And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes the right story, at the right time, can change everything.